Hello everyone, this is part 18, I think it's 18, of my Hocus Pocus dollhouse videos. I just want to show real quick, probably don't really show up, but my list is getting much smaller. Last time I had close to 50 things on this list, and now I'm down to probably 20. I've been getting a lot done on the house. Don't know how well it shows behind me, but last week's video we basically got the whole outside done. Of course I've still got to add the vines to it and do some stuff to the outside, just little things. And the inside is pretty much done now. Of course I've still got a lot of small things to do, but the big stuff's finally done. And I've done a lot of filming this week, so I've actually got possibly enough video footage to do like 3 videos, at least 2. Maybe try to work it all into 3 separate videos, which won't all be posted this week, but we'll be having those already ahead of time. So today, I've got so much filmed, I'm not even sure what today's video is about until I just start editing that together. So let's just get into the video and see what I've done. Right now I am trying to make the black flame candle. I don't know how well this shows up. It's really hard to find a picture of the stand. It's on this really detailed base or pedestal stand thing, whatever you call it. And it's got 3 legs on the bottom, and it comes up into this round piece, and then up here it's got these pieces of wood that kind of twist around together. It looks like maybe 2 pieces of twisted wood. There's something in the middle. What I'm going to create will not be perfect. It's not going to be exactly like this, because it's really difficult to find a picture that is clear enough to see how this looks. So I'm just going to make this up, kinda. I'm going to make it be something that is close to it but not perfect. But I'm going to try to make it as close as I can. I've been working with this coat hanger wire and just trying to twist these 2 pieces together in a way that I think looks okay. So I'm going to glue these. I'm actually going to use the lid off of this marker. And I've already cut these 3 little legs. Looks like a little bird claw, but I've got this created out of these little shapes here. That marker lid will make that round piece. So if you can see that, and then of course there's 3 little feet on the bottom. Glue all these into there, and then I'm going to glue these coat hanger pieces coming up out of the top here and just get those placed. And I've just been sitting here trying to twist these. These are very difficult to try to bend, but I like using coat hanger wire because it is strong and it will hold its shape. So what you see here is what I've come up with, these random shapes. I mean, they're not very good, but I think once I get this done, I think it's going to look really good. Alright, so here is that marker lid with those 3 little feet that I cut out. So that'll just stand up like that. And then these 2 pieces are going to just glue into here. And I'll use hot glue in there just to fill that up so they don't move around. Just pose them in there the way I want them. I may bend them around a little bit more before I actually glue them, but these are just barely tacked on with some glue. But once I fill this up with hot glue and make it solid in there, they won't move around or pop out. But I'll get these done. Alright, so this is really not easy. Doing these little spiral pieces that you can see here, it just seems like that would be so easy to twist a piece of wire and just stick it in this base and I had this wire wrapped around here in a spiral. I have sat here and twisted wires. It's very hard to twist this wire. I'm trying to find more easier to bend wires, but the coat hangers are a nightmare. Trying to get that shape is a nightmare. I mean, it's even making me not even want to finish this project because this is so difficult. I'm challenging any YouTuber who is a miniature maker to try to create the black flame candle. I mean, I don't mean the actual candle, I mean this ridiculous little pedestal that it sits on. I mean, this is so hard, it's really got me beat. But I'm going to just have to come up with something much more simple, and instead of trying to twist these things up around through there, I'm just going to probably, some of you are not going to be thrilled with this, but I might just do these pole pieces, these wood pieces, just coming straight up instead of trying to twist them together like it shows here. I mean, it's really whooping my butt right now because I just cannot get this to do right. I thought, man, this is going to be so easy, and it's become the most difficult thing about this whole project. But yes, seriously, if anybody would make one of these, I would love to see somebody try to attempt this. Maybe it would give me ideas, I don't know, but this is very difficult. But I'm still going to make something whether it looks like this or not. I mean, I'm about to just sit a candle in the floor and say there it is and forget the base altogether. But anyway, I'm just going to work on it still, see what I can come up with. But trying to twist these, I just don't know why this is so difficult. But anyway, I'll keep working, come back, and hopefully I'll have something figured out. Alright, so this is what I've come up with. Now, it ain't as cool, of course, as the real design, but I just came straight up with this one and bent those into this shape. And then I'm going to take another piece and bent it in kind of a U shape. And then I'm just going to super glue that right here, which will create these four little pieces sticking up. And then the candle will sit right inside here, and there's going to be a ring around this, so it's all going to look pretty good and pretty much like the real thing, except for these not being spiral. So anyway, I'll get this done, and after I get all this glued together, I'm going to wrap everything in floral tape just to, you know, give it a texture, but to also give me something better to paint, because paint, of course, won't stick that good to this plastic or this metal. So once I get this glued on, I will wrap it in that floral tape and then paint it up. And then I'll show how I attach some sort of a ring up here. And then there'll be other little details. It looks like on the real one, there's like these little bird skulls. Alright, so I've came up with something that I don't hate. I think it actually looks kind of cool. Now here's that little pedestal, or that little, how many times have I had to say pedestal already? Here's that little thing I just showed. I've got those glued in place. You can sort of see that little, all that super glue built up there, because I've glued the heck out of it with super glue, and then sprinkled the baking soda on there just to help bond it and hold it. That baking soda will just help that super glue build up. And then I've cut this little ring out of another piece of my coat hanger, and I'm trying to get it around here. I just had it around there, now I can't get it back on, but I hope I don't break it. Okay, I think I got it. Alright, so then I just attached that, and then I'm going to go in, and everywhere, it's a little crooked, I can work with that a little bit, but I'm going to go on here and just put a little dab of glue everywhere that metal touches. I think it'll be good enough to paint. Now I think I will wrap this in the floral tape just so the paint will have something better to stick to. So I'll do that and then paint it, and then I'll take it over. We'll go in the house after I get this wrapped, and we will attach the little candle and put the light up through it. So here, like a while back in one of the videos, that little light that I left hanging out here, that's what's going to become the black flame candle. And actually I need to grab a little straw here because I need to show you the straw. Alright, so I got my straw, but and I actually don't hate this little thing that I've come up with. It's not as bad as I was thinking, which it's not as good as it could be, but it's good enough. I think it'll, you know, serve the purpose. Now of course I'll cut my straw, and that will be the candle, and that will sit right in here. But before I can do that, I got to stick this little wire. I'm going to actually wrap it a time or two. I'm going to decide how I want this to sit. Now it may not be level at the moment, but I will work on that later. I'm going to wrap it around here because I don't want this to be removable. I'm going to actually glue this to the floor later. But then after that little wire standing up here, I'll cut the straw just like I did on all my other candles. Probably have to cut that down just a little bit more to where the bulb is right closer to the top, because I want that to actually stick up so that I can have it painted black and it'll look like the black flame. So I will probably need to work on this a little bit better so this is standing up taller. And then I'll glue that little candle on and then get it painted up. Okay, so I've got my candle painted and it's drying, and I'm going to do a few more little things to that in a little bit, and I'm just going to work on something else while that's drying. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to take, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to take some super glue and I'm going to put a drop right there. It's just the tiniest little drop. I think that shows. I can't really see too good on the camera, but then I'm going to take just a little bit of the baking soda, and then another drop of glue, and then baking soda, and I'm just going to build this up until I have a little glob, because I'm going to take that glob and I'm going to hopefully carve it into a little tiny bird skull that will hook to that candle, that little candle base that I've been working on. Now I don't have any clay, or I could have just done this with clay, and I don't care if it's super detailed. I just need something there to represent a little skull or just something. Oops, and there's my little, I just picked it up. Let me build that up a little bit more. It'd be good if I could have like a little sharp point out here. Now I will take this and try to carve this up a little bit. I'm going to try to make like a little point out here to make sort of a little beak. And I need a couple of these actually, so I'm going to go ahead and start the other one. So I'm just going to take these little chunks of super glue I'm building up and hopefully make these look like a couple of uh-oh, I've got it stuck to the bottle. Oh no. Okay, what am I doing? Oh no, it's sticking to everything. Okay, oh gosh, okay, there it is. See, that's what the baking soda does. It keeps it from sticking to everything. Oh my gosh, I almost done it again. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to keep balling this up. And once they are completely dry to where I can touch these, I will maybe carve them into that little bird skull and glue them onto that little candle thing. So it looks like it's working pretty good. I mean, I can't really say much about it. It just looks like a ball of super glue, but hopefully it can be carved into a shape. So I'm going to let this dry a bit better, and then I'll come back and see what I can do with that. Boop. Alright, so here is my little, I'm just kind of thinking, what in the world is this? Now this one I actually like. I don't know that this is showing up that great on the screen. This just looks ridiculous, whatever that is, but I'm still going to probably use it. Because I mean, it could pass for a tiny little animal skull. This one actually does have a point. This one's not bad. Once I get them glued on, I think they're going to look pretty good. So, and again, that nobody ever notices, you know, that candle that much in the movie. I don't even know that it really shows the base in the movie. You just see it in very quick little glimpses of it. So, I mean, nobody's going to know what they're looking at anyway when they look at this. So, I think what I've come up with here will look good. And I did this super glue thing just because I didn't have any clay or didn't know what else to use. So, I'll get these little things glued on, and I think they'll look pretty good. Especially once I age it and, you know, paint it up. People aren't going to pay that much attention to it. Alright, so I'm going to move that just so that don't take away. But here's those little skull things that I came up with. It's got that baking powder mixed on there. And I've tried to paint the candle. I've got to age it a little bit. I'm going to run some black on it and just age it up some. I don't actually hate it. I think it's looking good, the more of the little details that I'm doing to it. I think people will get what it's supposed to be, so that's the main part. But I like that little skull, because even when you look at the real one, you have to really look at it to even know what it is. And I'm not even sure that it is a skull. I'm just assuming it's a little bird skull. So, I mean, anything I think will pass, skull or not. You just need something there for some decoration. So anyway, I actually don't hate this anymore. I mean, I don't love it. I wished it could look a little more like the pedestal down here in this area with the way the pieces curve. But I think it looks good enough. And there's going to be so much going on in this house that it's not like they're just going to come straight for this one piece. Like, ooh, what's it look like? Of course, it is one of the important props, but still, I think what I've come up with looks pretty good. So anyway, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll age it and, you know, fix some more stuff around it. Alright, now I think this is looking pretty good. Before I go to the next thing, I did want to come back and show something that I just figured out. I don't know if I'll use this twine or not, but I do really want something down around here that's going to be sort of curvy and spirally. So I think what would look pretty cool, since I'm just kind of winging it and making it up as I go, I think just taking a piece of rope, and even if I paint it brown to match, to look like the wood, that will be cool. But I just really feel like it needs something down here to be spiral. So I just think this helps it a lot, so it ain't just so plain. Because this is a pretty important prop, and I want it to look like I've put some effort into it. So I think that looks amazing. It'll look really good once I get it painted, and that'll really just save it and give it a lot more detail instead of just having it like that. So I'll get that done, and then I won't come back about this until I get it done, but I just wanted to show that and show what that is before I actually have it finished. So anyway, I think that looks really good, and now I'm really happy with how that's going to turn out. So anyway, I'll get it painted up and come back and show you. Okay, so here is the final little candle stick, the little pedestal. I'm not even sure. I guess I'd call it a pedestal. But I think it actually looks okay. Of course, this part right here don't look exactly like the one, but I do like that I put a little swirl around here just to give it some more detail. And I may add something to it. I don't know. I just feel like it needs something. But I like the candle. I just think it all overall looks pretty good. And then a while back I showed you this shelf. This was that pie safe that had the metal in here, and I just popped that out and put some candles on here and added some bottles, and then I aged it. And then I'm going to insert a picture. Alright, so here's where I'm going to try to insert that picture, just so you can sort of see the picture here with this beside it. Okay, so here is my little candle after I got it finished. I think it looks pretty good. I like it better than I expected to. I mean, of course it's not perfect, but it looks enough like it to, you know, pass. So let me get it turned on. I'm going to turn the light off so it shows up a little better. Now I think you could tell that that came on. I'll get a little closer look at it later. Oh yeah, I had also put some little candles up here on it, and I went ahead and just glued some stuff down to it because I didn't want to have to worry about all this falling off all the time or having to mess with it. And then later I'll probably go in here and age all this a little bit more with some of that watered down black paint, just so it don't look so clean and neat. And I just glued this little basket up here so it's still kind of got some wet glue, but it's just going to sit on this wall back here for now, and then later I noticed it gets put over onto this wall. But we're going to go ahead and just put it here for now. And there was supposed to be a beam coming across here, but there's not going to be any way to get that beam across there. So, you know, this broom in the movie, it shows it real clear that it's hanging on a beam right here. But since we can't put a beam there, I'm just going to hang it back here on the wall. I've already got a couple little pins on the wall there, so that looks pretty good, and it's kind of gives that little vibe that you seen in the movie. Kind of gives it that reminiscent look of how it was. And then here's that little shelf I made. I don't even know at this point, I don't even know if this shelf is going to be seen today. I mean, I've got enough stuff filmed to make 3 videos, so I won't even show you the back of it in case if this one ain't actually being talked about in this video. But here's that little shelf that goes right back in to this corner, and I've glued some stuff onto that. Here's the little rake that I made, and same for the bookshelf. I'm not exactly sure what's going to be shown in this video until I just get to the editing part, but I do have, of course, several more things. That one other table shelf thing that goes here, but you know, the house is so full, it's got to have quite a few little accessories. Here's those little scrolls I made. These turned out really good. These are dried. Of course, last night when I was working on this, they were wet, and we got quite a few little things here to go in the house. Now this will sit right up above there, because I noticed in the little picture of these, there's a skull hanging or sitting above this somehow. but this goes on the other side of the house, so we'll do that later. So the more we add to this, the better it's going to look. I'm getting real excited about all these little accessories. And then, of course, the rug will go down. Now, also we got to paint this floor. That's a big part. You know, I don't really need to be putting all this in here till the floor is painted. But I'm hoping to get that done pretty soon too. But I still like to just sit stuff in here and play with it and look at it and see how it's kind of looking. But I do need to get that floor painted pretty soon. And then over here, I gotta come up with enough stuff to put on the bookshelf over here. And then this little rake, I know it hangs from this area, so I'm just going to hang that up there like that. And the more I do, like I said, the more I put in here, the better it's going to look, because when you watch the movie, there are so many props. I mean, there's just so much to look at. So it's just, you know, fun to get to work on all these little things. So anyway, next week, hopefully I will start painting the floor and get that done. Alright, now here is another thing that I am working on. It's almost impossible to make it out, but it is a little wooden box, like a little crate with these little paper scrolls. So I have made this little tiny box just out of some cardboard, and I've made all these little, just rolled up some paper. And of course these I'll age them a little bit, maybe with some coffee or something, and then of course paint this. So I'm not really sure what those little scrolls are in the picture. I'm just gonna guess they are like some probably some potions, like some spells or something. But of course I'm just trying to make up several little props, because this house is really got a lot going on in it, so I'm just trying to come up with as many little things as I can just by looking at the movie. Been taking some screenshots, so I'm just gonna finish this up, and boop, there, I've got it painted. Just trying to let that dry a little bit better. And here are those little scrolls. I've got them down in with some coffee and some water. I wish y'all could smell this. It smells really good. But I'm just letting those soak that up a little bit. And then I'll let all this dry, put it together. And then when all these little things are done, we'll take a look at it all. Alright, so here's that little box that I made out of cardboard and those little scrolls. And I'm pretty sure it sits around in this area, so I'll have to make a little table to sit these on. Because I know Winifred looks out the window, and then she shuts the shutters and turns, and when you see behind her, you can see them sitting about in this area. And of course it's going to be in front of the door, but that's okay, because I can just sit. It don't have to be on a shelf, it could just be a table sitting here. So I'll just fix up some sort of little table that can sit here, and then a skeleton head will be hanging right above it, sorta. And in an earlier video I said something about not all the windows has glass, but I think they do. I don't know about this one, because she opens the shutters and looks out, and the shutters are wood, I think. I'm just gonna have to watch it again. But I had said that not all the windows have glass, but I actually think they do, so I'm just correcting myself on that. And then I didn't put them, of course I don't put glass in these, because I just decided not to. I just wanted to do the shutters. And I'll have to look back over the movie again and get more ideas and stuff. And then of course there's a bookshelf, or a little shelf here, that I'm going to work on too, that's going to sit on this wall.